Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. This is layout 2 with my Felicity Jane and Freckled Fawn hybrid summery collection. So I'm starting out with a couple of the 6x8s from the Freckled Fawn pack, and because there's lots of color in the photo and because of the colors I want to use, I thought the multicolored floral from the Felicity Jane would be the best background, which makes me a little bit nervous because it is a busy background. But I'm hoping the colors that I'm going to be using will help break that up a little bit. Right away, I knew I wanted to pull in some of the green from the ephemera I pulled in from the Emily collection, so I'm going to go ahead and try to accentuate that green by inking everything in my green distress ink in peeled paint, which is a nice limey green, which I think matches the green that I'm using this month really well. So I'm diving into the green and orange, which are, I don't use orange that often, and I definitely don't use it with green. But they're both in the background, and they're both colors that I was worried I was going to shy away from this month. So I'm just going to go ahead, and since I have a multicolored background, I'm going to try to use all of these colors now. So I did just use the kind of geometric yellow diamond print to mat my photo, inked that in green, and then I'm matting that on this orange polka dot from Freckled Fawn, and I'm inking that in green. And then I'm just using this pink floral from that same Freckled Fawn kit and creating a more vertical layer here by layering it like this. And I'm gutting everything because we're still in the beginning of the month. But I wanted to go ahead and get a nice pop of these colors on the layout. So I have this orange, I have this pink, I'm pulling in the green. So my goal on this one is to really sneak in some of the green stuff from this collection, because we're playing a murder mystery game in this photo. There is the box is green, some of the things in the picture is green. We have our wine bottle, which is green because this is one of our girls' night, wine night layouts, or there's shenanigans. So that's my goal. I went ahead and pulled in the green pocket card, and I was just going to have it layered behind the photo, so I didn't want to waste the whole pocket card because I like that green, and I want to save a little bit of it in case I need it later in the month. So I did gut that little journaling card, what was going to be hidden behind the photo. But I like that because that introduces that green right away with that little pop of green. And before I glue down all of the layers to the background, I wanted to gut this floral in case I wanted to use it on another layout. And the backside is a very usable tone-on-tone red stripe. So I wanted to save that for later this month in case I needed it. So this is basically the paper layers. I'm going to go ahead and get this all glued together, and then it's just embellishing. I really wanted to try and use the Emily girl on this layout because this is a girls' night and she has a green shirt on, which I think will play off of the green pocket card really well. And I also really wanted to get another branding strip used up, so I just decided to use this row of hearts because it has pink and orange and kind of that brighter, darker pink. Which played off of the background. So I'm just inking that as well in the green, and then that's going to run horizontally across the whole layout, which I think is nice, kind of anchors everything down. And then I will get to play with embellishments. So the biggest thing with my embellishment, I really want to try to use the girl. I really want to try to dig into the Freckled Fawn chipboard that I didn't get used on the last layout. I want to try to get a couple of the pieces used up on this one. And then I just want to try to keep my colors balanced. So I'm trying to pull in the pink, the green, and the orange into all of these clusters. So I really like this little green banner. There's a little pink heart. I think those look really cute together. So I'm really wanting to use those in one of the clusters. But before I get too happy with the clusters, I didn't want to forget to splash on this layout for the theme this month. So I am using the lime green splatter from the what is that? It's the Dilutions ink spray in fresh lime. So that's the color I decided to use on this one, just to bring the green out a little bit more. I was worried it was going to be too bright because Dilutions is really bright colors. But actually it looks really nice, and it's actually pretty subtle. I splattered quite a bit on the diagonal, but it's not distracting, which is good. And I think it actually matches the peeled paint green Distress ink really well, so I was happy about that. But you just saw me pull in 3 pink chipboard pieces from the Freckled Fawn pack. So I have the little hello in the top left corner, I have this wonderful circle, and this together half circle. So I'm thinking the little together half circle would be really nice layered with the Emily girl. So I toyed for a bit trying to figure out which side I wanted this girl on. At first I wanted her on the right with the green pocket card, but then I just kind of felt like it was too many green elements together, and if I was going to have a different cluster, I wanted her in a different cluster to pull that green over. So that was my thought process. I layered that little together chipboard down by her feet, and now I'm going in with this Freckled Fawn, these labels, to pull in a pop of orange at the top. Because I have this big orange layer around the photo, so I wanted some orange up there in that little accessory cluster. So I'm just layering the orange label behind the pink hello chipboard, and then I'm going to layer the little green banner and the pink heart on top of that. And I think that looks really cute. That's just a nice little cluster that includes all the colors on the page. So I like that. And then I'm gonna try to also get some Emily word stickers on this page, because there's some of that green on the word sticker sheets, and I'm gonna really try to take advantage. But before I get too far with the embellishment clusters, I did want to figure out my title, and I decided to go with this Freckled Fawn orange tile alpha and then some of the green snap alphas. So with the orange, I'm just spelling out murder mystery, and then in the green I'm just going to spell out at wine night. I really didn't need that, but I really wanted to use the green in my title, and I didn't have enough letters to spell out murder mystery in the green. So that's when I decided to compromise and use both of these together. These snap alphas are really old and they were not very sticky, so I did have to go back and glue them all down with some wet glue, so that takes a second. But I'm just trying to figure out my spacing here, because I tried to make the larger alpha kind of the bigger word, and then the tile alpha is kind of a little cute accessory on top of them. But in this case, the murder mystery was way longer than the wine night, so I tried to play around with the spacing a little bit. So I'm using this at symbol because I was hoping that would add some space, and now I'm just trying to figure out how long each of these are going to be. So what I decided to do was lay down the tile alphas first and try to keep them pretty close together, and then based on how long the tile words are will help me space out the wine night. But you'll kind of see I have to do some creative problem solving because I really didn't want it to look like the orange was too long and the green was not right, and you'll see what I mean once I kind of get them all down. So I think this spaced out really nice. I just wish I had more letters to do a longer title with the green, so it would really run the whole length. But what I decided to do was start with the word night and start at the end, so I know that it's going to span the length that I want. And then I'll go back and put wine down by the at symbol, and then there's an awkward gap between those two words, so I just decided to use one of my puffy hearts to fill the space, and I think it works out okay. But it took me a minute to try to figure out the best way to deal with that, because I was being really stubborn on how I wanted this title to space out. And I was also out of an H, so I had to take an M and trim it into an H. So there was that too. That took me a while. But yeah, so I have at wine night with the big gap, and then this is where I decide to pull in one of these kind of dark orangey red puffy stickers, which I kind of think plays off the floral in the background really nice, even though it's not really a color I've pulled in. But since I did pull it in, I need to use that in a couple areas so that it doesn't seem out of place. So I just decided to put one of those orangey, red, puffy hearts in two other areas so that they create a visual triangle and it looks balanced, even though it kind of was an odd color to decide to pull in this late in the page. But before I really commit to those, I wanted to pull in some of these green word stickers. So I pulled in the best and don't give up to the left here with one of those hearts, and then I pulled in work in progress and real life to the right cluster to kind of fill that in. But I really like that, pulls that green around the page even more, and it helps beef up these clusters a little bit. So I play around with spacing here for a minute to figure out how I want those to lay, but I think I like what I came up with. And then that's pretty much it. That was the biggest struggle, was trying to figure out the spacing and how to keep all these colors in kind of in balanced, but it was a lot of fun, and this night was really fun too. We love doing our little murder mystery games, and so it kind of goes hand in hand with escape rooms. We just love those kind of puzzles, and I feel like we work really good as a team, so we seem to always get through them. Here I'm going to go through and re-stick all these letters down with wet glue, and I don't believe I make you watch all of this. And then I go back and I'll ink the entire page in green because I haven't done that yet. So I'll use that distress ink to pull that green around the edge. And that's pretty much it. So I'm glad I did a multicolored layout this early in the month because I usually put these off until the end. But yeah, I feel like I did okay. And that's it. So close-ups are here in a minute. And then thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next process video. Bye.